Sun, sand and surf. It's long been the promise to overseas tourists, but visitors are staying away in droves as economic woes trouble traditional markets, and the high dollar is making it tough for operators to persuade value-seeking Australians to holiday at home. The industry admits there's an urgent need for fresh infrastructure investment to maintain Australia's place as one of the world's most sought-after destinations. Rebecca Nash reports.
Taxi's waiting.
There's nothing particularly idyllic about the latest figures on Australia's tourism. Overseas visitor spending hit its lowest monthly figure in 4 years, while at the same time Australian tourists spent a record amount offshore. But the homegrown tourism bodies say it's not all doom and gloom.
There's been some tough times, no doubt, but it is growing. It's particularly growing in local currency, but our dollar, I suppose, is affecting it.
It's been an ongoing issue for us, but the spend figure is, somewhat fluctuates from quarter to quarter, from month to month.
Andrew McAvoy says the story of Australian tourism is far from simple.
It's a story of two worlds, really. Asia is growing exponentially. The markets such as the UK, Europe and the Americas have struggled along.
And then there's an increasing divide between the experiences of urban and regional tourism.
Our major population centres and capital cities are doing extremely well, but that's not flowing on to our destinations in regional parts of Australia.
Felicia Mariani doesn't believe the Australian dollar is a major factor for overseas tourists.
They recognise that the value of the dollar will have an impact on what they can spend when they get there, but it doesn't necessarily deter their decision to come.
The issue for Australia is twofold. One is, at the moment, it's our dollar, but secondly, it is the infrastructure. It's about building and rebuilding and refurbishing the product.
That's a message at the heart of the success of Robert Pennicott's tourism business.
We showcase the southeast corner of Tasmania, taking people into caves, blowholes. We get right into it, into the scenery, the wind, a bit of sea on the face and licking the Southern Ocean. People are looking for something a bit unusual now, which this is.
The profile of Robert Pennicott's customers mirrors that of the state. Roughly 80% of visitors to Tasmania are Australian. But that's where the comparison ends, because unlike its home state, Pennicott Journeys is still managing to grow visitor numbers.
The domestic market for us is a very, very important one. We are fine-tuning all the time.
That includes developing new products to attract greater numbers of international visitors.
Specialised tours with seafood. Some of those, including abalone and crayfish, will be targeting directly into the Asian market.
Here there are a million natural wonders.
It's that investment in infrastructure that Tourism Australia is now turning its attention to.
We've identified as many as 80 to 100 tourism investment opportunities, including plenty in regional Australia. At the moment, it's just been tough that the banks aren't lending so much against some of those opportunities. So we'll seek out some international investment with Austrade's help, and we'll also seek out some domestic investment.
Our issue now is to create unique experiences that will really drive that visitation, drive that dispersal out into the regions of the country.
While Andrew McAvoy admits there's an enormous amount of work to do, he says the discussion's never been better.
The conversation's moved on. It's not about the next great ad that's going to save us. It's about tourism infrastructure, access to it, great products and experiences.
We have to get lost to find ourselves.
In other words, much more than just another shrimp on the barbie.